Hey there, today we are going to talk about push-ups, but before you scroll away, I'll tell you why this should be for you, and I promise I will teach you no matter what age or stage you are, I will teach you how to do a push-up. Anybody can do a push-up. Push-ups are really important. They are a good functional movement. They involve all sorts of different muscle groups, and they're one of the sort of indicators of longevity because realistically, at some point in time, every single one of us is going to have to get down on the floor to look under the bed for that suitcase you think you have, or you may want to get down and play with your kids or your grandkids, and you're going to have to be able to get back up. So this is a great functional movement that will help to strengthen you and keep you healthier in the long term. Why? Because not only does it strengthen your chest, shoulder, and triceps muscles, which I think is what most people think a push-up is for, when you do a push-up properly, you have to engage all of your core muscles. So it's actually a really good core strength exercise to do. The other thing is that it strengthens stabilizer muscles in your body. So not the prime movers, but it strengthens a lot of the muscles that help to stabilize the prime movers, which means you're going to have more body control as you move and as you age, which means better coordination and better balance. Now, most of us have a concept of what a push-up looks like. I'm going to show you all the different modifications that I know right from a sitting position. So you can sit on your couch and do a push-up while you're watching Bridgerton. So here are the modifications that I know of, and I promise there'll be something in there for everybody. Here we go. Here's the easiest modification of a push-up that I know. Like I said, you can do it sitting on your couch while you're watching TV. And in fact, you should be doing these things while you're watching TV. Why not get some strength and mobility in there? So I'm sitting toward the edge of my couch. My legs are at 90. I'm supporting my hands with my legs, keeping my elbows mostly tucked into my ribs. And I'm gonna come forward, and then I'm gonna push up with my hands. Forward, tighten your core. Push up with your hands. That's the first modification. Your next modification is a wall push-up. You can change the level of difficulty in this by your incline. So if you're more straight up and down, that's going to be an easier push-up. If you change the incline and you come down further, that's going to be a harder push-up. But basically, you want to have your hands around chest to shoulder level here, and you just lean into it, make sure your core is tightened, and you push back out. And lean in and push back out. We're back to the couch again for the next modification. This is the couch push-up. You can do it on a chair, you can do it on a counter. The point is you're gonna have more incline on this one than you did at the wall. So you're gonna position yourself with whatever incline is the most comfortable. You're going to make sure your back stays straight, tighten your core, tighten up those glutes. Make sure your elbows don't wing out like this. So keep your elbows tight-ish into your ribs, and you're going to lower yourself and come back up. Nice and tight, nice and strong. This next modification, probably most of you have seen, it's a knee push-up or a standard push-up done with your knees dropped. So biggest things to remember here, whether you're doing this or a standard push-up, is you want to make sure you keep your core tight. You want to make sure your back stays straight so you're not arched and your tummy isn't dropped. I always think make sure you tighten your glutes and your hamstrings and tuck your tailbone just a tiny bit to make sure that you get that straightness in your back, and keep your elbows tucked more towards your ribs than keeping them winged out. So this is how it's done. You're going to find your position, make sure your arms are underneath your shoulders, core tight, glutes tight, and you're gonna come down and up. So your standard push-up is the same as the one that I just did with your knees down, except that your knees aren't gonna be down. So you're gonna come into that push-up position. You're gonna make sure you have your hands under your shoulders. I spread my feet just a little bit. You can't see that here. My glutes are tight, my core is tight. I'm gonna keep my elbows tight toward my ribs, and I'm going to come down to the floor and back up again. So just in case a standard push-up is not enough for you and you can do more, Probably the most difficult push-up that I know of is the handstand push-up. Be very careful when you do it. Take some practice. I keep a yoga block or some kind of padding underneath my head, even just a towel folded up, just in case I don't make the push-up, because that happens, but I'll show you how you do it. Here we go. So those are all the different kinds of push-ups. Like I said, there's something for everybody there. So if you've never done a push-up, or it's been a long time since you've done a push-up, just start with the easiest modification. Do 1, do 2, do 10. Actually, if you can do 10, then you can bump yourself up a modification, and just take it slowly and do them regularly. Like anything, health takes time, but it takes consistency, but you will get there. And if you're having any kind of spinal pain while you're doing these movements, make sure you see your chiropractor. Have an awesome day.